Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel again. Today in this video, we're going to see the installation of Jenkins in EC2 Amazon Linux. Okay, so we have, we already know that what is Jenkins. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. So it's widely used. CI/CD is a DevOps tool. Okay, so we're going to install Jenkins in EC2 Amazon Linux machine. Okay, so first of all, let's see what is Jenkins. Okay, so what is Jenkins? Jenkins is a popular open source automation server used mostly for software developments, continuous integration and delivery CI/CD process. Okay, so if you can remember, Jenkins has been used for so many years. After that, there are so many evaluation it comes up. Now recently there are GitLab. There are many tools like GitLab, Azure DevOps. So AWS code pipeline, all these things are emerged. So now what are we going to do is that in this part of videos we're going to see how to install Jenkins on Amazon Linux in EC2. Okay, so let's go back to console. Okay, this is my console, and so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to launch instance. Okay, so I'm going to launch instance. I'm 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 naming it as a Jenkins. So uh, Cloud Institution Server. Okay, Jenkins Cloud Institution. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to choose Amazon Linux. Okay, so there are various servers out there to use. Now I'm going to use Amazon Linux as an image. Okay, so instance type is t2.micro. Okay, so make sure guys, so if you're installing Jenkins for your production servers, you have to be going with the advanced, little bit more, so more CPUs and more memories. So you should be having some different kinds of instance type. So I'm using tutor.micro because this is for demo purpose. I'll be deleting this instance after the creation. So now if you can see the key pair, so I'm just going to use the cloud institution key as the key pair. Okay, so now I'm going to leave everything as a default. Okay, so network setting I'm leaving as a default. So now I have to add 8080 as a port. So but I'll be adding it later. Okay, so now I'll be configuring as a 8 GB server. So basically if you can see, 8 GB is not enough for your that Jenkins configuration. Okay, so even though you can install and configure everything with 8 GB, but I recommend you to go with minimum of 20 GB, as a base storage configuration for any kind of a systems, right? So you have to go for a 20 GB um, as an initial storage configuration. Okay, so now I'm going to make it as a one instance. For now, click on launch instance. Okay, so meanwhile is this launching an instance? Let's go back to the EC2 and see if the instance is ready or not. So let's go back to running instances. Okay, so the one instance Jenkins Cloud Institution instance is already ready. Okay, I'm going to connect to this instance. How to connect it? I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click on connect here. All right, so I'm going to click on connect. Okay, it's getting connected. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to root sudo sui. So I'm in a root login. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to Jenkins, so Jenkins page where downloading install Jenkins. Okay, so this is for the Amazon Linux, right? So I'm going to use it for Amazon Linux. Okay, so I'll be skipping some kind of a comments, so I don't need all this kind of comments, so don't waste time in giving all the comments. Yum update icon y is already been updated. So I'm going to add this Jenkins repo. Okay, so this is very important, guys. So I'll be covering like what is yum repository, so the global yum repository, all these things in the few later classes. But for now, I'm going to install Jenkins. Okay, so I'm going to install Jenkins repository. I'm going to add Jenkins repository. Okay, so if you don't add this repository, so what is adding the Jenkins repository? If you can go back, go to this location. Okay, so cd to the location, cd to this etc.m.configuration. Okay, you can see this repository is been added. Okay, so there is Amazon Linux repository is added. Now I'm adding the Jenkins repository. Okay, so there is also another repo called kernel live patch dot repo. So this has also been added. Okay, so now we added the Jenkins repository, right? So it's very pretty simple, right? So now I need to add the key file for the Jenkins repo whatever we've added. Okay, this is one of the prerequisites we need to add it. So I'm going to copy and paste it. So it is done. So now I'm going to do yum upgrade. Okay, so as it is mentioned, but it is not required most of the times because we have added this. Is nothing to do because it is not required. But if you want, you can skip it. It's not an issue. Now I have to install Java. Okay, so the Java is one of the prerequisite for Jenkins. Okay, so if the Java is not available, okay, I'm going to see Java -v hyphen version. So Java is not installed. Okay, so now I'm going to give Java. So it's going to be like a dnf -install Java package. I'm going to be installing here. Okay, so now the next command, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give yum installation. Okay, yum install Jenkins because I already had a Jenkins repository over here. Now I'm going to add Jenkins installation. Okay, so right after this the command is completed, I'm going to install with the Jenkins. Okay, now it's completed. Now I'm going to install with Jenkins install -y. Okay, it's getting created. So now I'm going to check the Jenkins status. Okay, so how to check? System ctl status Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins is dead. Okay, inactive. So I'm going to start it. Okay, I'm going to start Jenkins. So it may take a while. So we need to wait. So the commands whatever we are mentioning is that it will be enabling the Jenkins. Okay, so it will be start the Jenkins. Okay, I'm going to start the Jenkins, but you can enable it later on as well. So what is Jenkins enable will be doing is that so whenever the system is booting up in the next restart, the Jenkins will automatically will get start as part of the boot up scripts. If you don't enable it, the Jenkins will be stopped each and every time we have to go to the server and you have to start it. Okay, that's going to be a production loss for you. Okay, so now the Jenkins will be started, right? So I'm going to do enabler or enable also. Okay, so Jenkins status enable. Okay, so I'm just copying and paste this. Okay, so now everything is good. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this public IP address of this machine. Okay, just copy this public IP addresses and then go back to your browser and then just give http// okay IP address. So this is not going to work because you have to be thinking, so Jenkins will be working on certain port. Okay, the port number the Jenkins will be working on is 8080. Okay, so the 8080 is the port number which the DNS the Jenkins server is working on. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give the Jenkins 8080. Okay, still it's not working. So the reason why it's not working is that you should be knowing why, because you have to enable the security group, the 8080 port. Okay, the 8080 port is not being enabled. So go to security group. Okay, edit inbound rules. Okay, add rule and then do custom TCP. Then give 8080. Okay, then give 000. Let's save rule. All right. Okay, so now I added it. I'm going to so as soon as I refresh it, it started working here. Okay, so now it's asking for a login, right? So this is the command is giving me to copy the password of the Jenkins and just installing it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy. I'll just copy that entire command. I'm going to do cat. Okay, the cat with the file. So this is the password for the Jenkins. Okay, so now I'm going back here and I'm going to copy and pasting it over here. So now I'm not going to save it for now. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to install suggested plugins. Okay, so install suggested plugins. Now installation the plugins is getting installed. Okay, so now as you can see here, you can also specify that what are the plugins you wanted to install. It's up to you to getting installed. Okay, so it's getting ready and skip and continue as the admin. So if you want to create a user for you and you can just use it, or what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a user, it's kind of a cloud institution, and then password is going to be my own password. Okay, all right, so cloud institution. Okay, and then I'm going to copy paste it, copy and paste it at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and can save and continue. So whenever you're just continue as a, so my system is working like this, right? If you already have a DNS configured for your IP addresses, you can still give the DNS, but you remember that, so this is working as HTTP only, but you need to configure to SSH, SSL certificate and all these things to make sure that it's working as a HTTPS. Okay, so I'll be covering in the later classes on this. Now starting Jenkins. Now the Jenkins is ready. Okay, so this is how you'll be installing the Jenkins on EC2, Amazon Linux. Okay, so in the next sessions, we are going to see how to, how to get all these things work, so how to create a fast pipeline and all these things we'll be doing. So stay tuned for the next videos. Okay, that's it from the video, and see you again in the, so we have seen the demo. Okay, so see you again in the next video. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding the courses, whatever we are offering, please reach out to this number. Okay, we are happy to help you on this. Okay, thank you so much and stay tuned.